The moment this figure gets released next year, she would shoot all the way up to 40,000 yen. I guarantee you that. Hi and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to this week's Figure News Fix. We are taking a look at figures on pre-order between 9th to 14th of December 2024. As usual, we have more stuff on the genuine side, starting off with Hobby Link Japan, HLJ, this channel's affiliate partner for genuine licensed anime figures from Japan and also China, I suppose. And I have selected the scale figures I want to cover. Starting off with 1x4 scale, as usual, we have A2. This time around from NieR Automata. Last week it was 2B. So, freeing, are we getting a 1x4 scale figure of 9S? Of course not. Right? Who gives a crap about him? I don't see that happening. Yeah, 1x4 scale of 9S. I could be wrong, but I don't see that happening. Like, has Freeing ever made a dude figure at 1x4 scale other than Rengoku and maybe, yeah, the classics? Hunter x Hunter. I don't remember many. Yeah. The thing with A2 is that I'm not a big fan of her compared to 2B, even though your Asian parents would prefer to see the alphabet A over there. But she has such glorious thighs over there for some reason. Like, oh, the lower half of her body over there, her legs, fantastic work on the sculpting. As for the face of this A2, I have heard comments from some people online saying that it doesn't resemble her that much. Like, there is a slight difference from what they saw in the game or anime. I'm not too sure. To me, it still looks very much like A2. And you guys also mentioned last week that 2B's sword was kind of undersized. Yeah. How did I even miss that? But anyways, this is a pair with 2B. If you get one, you need the other one, right? To me, it feels more like I can make do with only 2B and skipping A2, but if I buy only A2, it feels incomplete without 2B for some reason. That is what I personally feel. 40,000 yen because of Square Enix tax as usual. Moving on to the next one over here, we now move into 1x6 scale territory. This was from last Saturday. Yeah, she went on pre-order after I finished filming last week's episode, so we take a quick look at her. Kaoru Osami. Wow, torture officer. Would you like to be tortured by her? 1x6 scale by BB Buttons, a very new Chinese figure brand at 17,000 yen. Excellent value for money. Coming out in September next year. Okay, so BB Buttons has exactly one figure released, if I'm not mistaken, only one, but they are turning out to be very promising based on that one single figure they have released so far. I really liked it. If I have extra cash lying around, yes, I want it even. So I am really looking forward to this torture officer figure because despite being a bunny figure, is this even a bunny figure? Not really, but it looks like she's wearing a bunny suit. A very unique one. I think it is an overall character design that appeals to me so much. And oh, she is torturing Rimuru Tempest over there. That slime over there. It's so random. What is up with that blue color slime over there? Yeah, but this is highly recommended, right? Go for it. Moving on to the next one. 1x6 scale Awaki Wakamurasaki. Wakamurasaki, okay. Is that her name? Oh, her name is Yatsu Murasaki. Anyways, Taimanin RPG X, this series is getting a revival. Many figures lately and really good ones. And I'm happy to see Q6 making figures with normal bust size again. Though who knows how long that will last before they will go back to making breast cancer figures, right? Okay, so this is a very reasonable 25,000 yen. Coming out in August 2025, and as usual, there are two flavors to choose from: the fair one, the vanilla, or the chocolate. Which one do you prefer? Let me know in the comments below. To me, it is case by case basis, but I think for this specific figure, the fair version looks a tad bit better. Maybe because of the color of her clothes, or rather, to me it feels like blue color hair and tanned skin doesn't go that well. I think it is all down to the color scheme of the figure eventually, right? The character and the figure. Anyways, despite KO6 being only somewhat of a B tier company, this is not a bad purchase at all, given that you can cast her off, partially at least, yeah. Moving on to the next 1x6 skill, a really good one, except, Belfine. Okay. Maybe we should give them a second chance, I suppose, because they are making great stuff recently. Okay, this is Selvaria Bless, swimsuit version from Valkyria Chronicles. Oh, I remember watching the anime adaptation from so many years ago. Was it late 2000s or early 2010s? Selvaria Bless is an ever popular character from that series, and this 1x6 skill from Belfine is going for quite an eye-watering 30,000 yen, releasing in June next year. I would love to know what a modern Belfine figure is like in terms of quality control. Yeah, they're a bit like Phat Company in the past in terms of their inconsistency, paintwork. Like, I know that I'm unfairly judging them based on that one single FGO figure they have made, Raiko. Yeah, Raiko wasn't very good. Has the usual paint QC issues, but her value went up anyway because of how rare she is. Like, there are no other figures of her in that outfit. That is the only choice, which is why her value went up. As for this Selvaria Bless figure, I actually like it quite a lot, and I hope that Belfine redeems themselves, and if they do, this could be a very good purchase. No, Selvaria Bless is a very tall female character, and at 1x6 skill, this is huge. This is a huge figure. So 30,000 yen does not seem too expensive now, but as long as you get the quality right, I can recommend it, right? I don't know how to predict Belfine figures at the moment, because my last experience with them was so many years ago. The face sculpt though, oh, chef's kiss, I love her face sculpt. Okay, moving on to the next 1x7, this is from last Saturday, Circle Activities Yuzuki Aya Sakura regular version. So there is a deluxe version over here, which I forgot to open the tab, for 16,500. Very cheap. Wow. I think every Hobby Sakura figure up to this point has been 20,000 yen or more, right? How come this is so cheap? I'm not sure why. Maybe cheaper licensing fees? Okay, so the standard version is 15k. DX version 16,500. This is so cheap. Though that has to be one of the weirdest outfit designs I've seen. Like, you wear a sweater, but it only covers half your oppai, so you need to wear undergarments underneath it. Very fashionable, very nice looking design, but weird regardless. If you like the character design, there is no reason not to pick one up, at least for the regular version, because this is so cheap. This is so cheap. Like, how are they even doing it? I'm not sure. Okay, Hobby Sakura, yes, they get my approval. Their figures are fine. Grab one if you like her. Moving up next, we have 1x7 scale Warship Girls R Prince Eugen My Heart version by Kelbone. Never heard of this company. Going for 29,000 yen, which is an okay price, I suppose, given what you're getting. That tall stool over there, Roman columns and ship parts, cannons, going for 29k, reasonable. Releasing in June 2025. And if not for me knowing what Prince Eugen looks like in Azur Lane, I would have assumed this is an Azur Lane character before reading the title over there. But what is Warship Girls R? Let me know down in the comments below if you know something. Once again, this is an okay package considering that not only the base and the props you're getting, but she is wearing a long wedding dress. This is a fairly complex figure, so I think that 29,000 yen is reasonable over here. As expensive as it may sound, this feels like an adult version of Ram, if I have to be honest. It feels a little bit too ordinary for me to like the character design. Even more so when I've just unboxed the Apex Toys New Jersey wedding dress. This doesn't feel that special to me anymore, even though it is a fairly unique figure on its own, yeah. Moving on to the next one over here. Oh, Uzaki Chan wants to hang out second season. When is the third season coming? Hana Uzaki Cow Bikini version for 18,000 yen, releasing in May 2025. Okay, 18,000 yen is very reasonable, very cheap even for a Japanese company figure. though she is supposed to be cheap given that she's just wearing cow bikinis. And what is up with the popularity of cow bikini nowadays? Like, what is the lore behind it? Why is it a thing? Yeah, Mummy Milky's, right? There is another cow bikini figure later on, Sophia F showing in Army section. That is an exclusive. But what is up with the popularity of cow bikini? I think her other sister and her mom also got a figure in cow bikini outfit. And I think there is also a PA-15 girls frontline figure, right, in cow bikini as well. Like, why? Why is it a thing? You guys hungry for some milk or something? Anyways, compared to the one by... Oh, yeah, the one by Amakuni was 1/6. So that was more expensive for a good reason. Okay, this one I can recommend, right? I wish that she is maybe 15 or 16k, but you're talking to a cheapskate over here. I'm always hoping for something to be cheaper than the official listed price, you know. But overall, Wave Corporation is a very decent brand. I don't think I've had any problems with their figures after seeing their user photos at least. Though I've never bought any figures from them, I can still recommend the figures regardless. Yeah, go ahead and pick one up if this is your kind of thing. Though if you display this at home, I'm sure you get a comment or two from your family members. Is this what you prefer? No wonder you couldn't find a girlfriend. Your expectations are too unrealistic. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is possibly the highlight of the week, right? Yeah. And we saw this being revealed in a figure event. Was it One Fest Shanghai? I think it was. Nekomiya Mana from Zenless Zone Zero is now available for pre-order by Apex Toys for a very nice 21,000 yen. December 2025 release. So you just hit that pre-order button and you don't ask question, you plan your budget for maybe year 2026. Yeah. Apex Toys does not delay their figures very often. So this is important to remember, right? I said plan your budget for 2026, but for a company that spams so many figure releases every month, Apex Toys is remarkably consistent in quality control, and they also don't delay a lot. In fact, I rarely see an Apex Toys figure getting delayed. Yeah, at most 1 or 2 months, but even that is not common. So their consistency is at Kotobukiya's level, except their QC is even better, their detail level is even better. So this is a no-brainer for sure. As long you like Triple Z, pre-order it, you won't regret this figure. Moving on to the next one over here, another remarkable looking figure from Union Creative. I actually liked their 1/6 scale Shinjo Akane figure that went on pre-order recently. I liked that one a lot. And here we have another amazing looking figure, Tenka Izumo from Mato Seihei no Slave. Not Maho, Mato Seihei. Okay, Chained Soldier. Because they couldn't use the word slave. They are so sensitive to it in the West for some reason. Even though they are guilty of doing exactly that in the past. Okay, we are not getting into politics, right? But I'm just stating the obvious over here. There are certain words that people are so sensitive to for reasons I don't know. Like, you are supposed to learn from history instead of trying to bury history. And if you did that, you are doomed to repeat the same mistakes in the past, right? History is meant to teach us, the human race, a lesson in a way. But people are so obsessed with burying them for some reason. Now back to this figure over here. This is obviously one of the better looking figures Union Creative has placed on pre-order this year, but don't be fooled. Even at 27,000 yen, this is not a very detailed figure. Here we go. I'm looking for a closer up picture. Like her uniform, I wish that there are more creases like this over here. There is a little bit of that on her waist region, but those creases are not being followed by heavy shading. Wait, let me have a look. Okay, there is a little bit of shading, but I can't be sure. There's a little bit of it, right? This figure requires shading for the creases so that she looks more detailed. That is all I ask for. And if Union Creative can paint those gold color parts and red color trims perfectly without any paint bleeding, this is a must-have actually. I'm quite a fan of the characters from this series and I am anticipating season 2. Yeah, as much as I know, this will end up being a harem anime. And Tenka Izumo, despite being a lady with short hair, I like her a lot. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one over here, we have two maid women. This week alone, the first one here from Overlord, we have Yuri Alpha by Furio, 20,500 yen at 1/7 scale, October release 2025. So I saw one comment on my Facebook page. Dit was saying, what the hell, this is such a plain and simple figure, but 20,000 yen? I still find it reasonable. For one, we're getting armor parts, and those gauntlets are quite detailed for one. The next thing is that don't forget that the Japanese yen is very weak now. Like, it has been the weakest the past 10 or even 15 years, right? Even against my own country's currency, which isn't very strong to begin with. So they have to make up for it in some way. This could have been maybe 10 or 20% cheaper, I agree. But for the initial asking price of 20,500 yen, I don't find it to be excessively expensive. Once you slap on the Japanese GST of 10%, which would make this figure closer to 22 or 23,000 yen, then it is beginning to feel very expensive. Yeah, but HLJ pricing over here, they don't charge you the 10% tax for international customers. So that's one of the big advantages of shopping at HLJ. I just don't get why red color base. Like, it is such a major mismatch with the figure's color scheme. Yeah, use a dark green base or a dark grey base. Why red? Why bright red? Like, it is stealing attention away from the figure. However, if you are willing to wait a little bit longer, maybe another brand will give us a better figure of Yuri Alpha. It is always possible, you know. Because Furio, yeah, we all know. You all know what I think about Furio. Okay, moving on to the next maid over here. And this is the much better one. At least in pose and in detail level. But we are talking about Medicos Entertainment, which is about Furio level as well in terms of quality control. Yeah, not very good. Right, Medicos Entertainment, they hold an exclusive license on Black Lagoon. So far, every scale figure I've seen, they're all Medicos Entertainment. Okay, Roberta Nightmare Maid version, 22,500 yen at 1/7 scale, August release next year. Is it reasonable? Yes, very. Oh. Being someone who wears glasses, I'm not a fan of anime girls wearing glasses. I'm sorry, women who are wearing glasses out there. I mean, I wouldn't mind dating one, okay? But I mean, in context of anime characters, I'm not a fan of it. But that Zeta Ryoiki tie over there, and that pump shotgun, and that very nicely detailed weathered suitcase, it balances things out, you know. So I actually like this a lot. Once again, I am a fan of female characters with weapons. This is right up my alley. Just that it feels really weird to buy a figure of Roberta, but I don't have a figure of the main characters. Don't remember her name. But yeah, I don't have a figure of the main characters. To have only this one is a bit odd. I think she was using Gatling guns in the anime, right? Like something with a chain belt of ammo. Did she use shotguns in the anime? I can't remember anymore. Anyways, despite Medicos Entertainment being somewhat average as a figure brand, you don't have a choice. There are no other figure companies that are going to make figures of Black Lagoon. So with that in mind, pre-order it if you like what you're looking. Moving on to the next scale figure from Ranma House, we have original work Shampoo. Shampoo, okay. Just by proof, 21,000 yen plus, coming out in May next year. Not my kind of thing, you know. There are some people out there who really love traditional or classic anime art where the eyes are kind of vertical instead of horizontal, you know, vertical oval. Yeah, that is trademark 90s style anime character design where some people really like, for me not so much. So this is an obvious skip for me. 21k is reasonable but feels a little bit expensive at the same time because, you know, this is a small character, right? Small figure. Are we getting two faceplates? No, I don't think so. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. Freddy versus Jason. Okay, Jason Voorhees Bishoujo statue. I'm no idea what is wrong with my brains today. Like, I can't speak fluently. Apologize for that. Okay, second edition. So this is indirectly a re-release, but they made some small changes, I assume. And maybe the packaging, the box is also different. So they had to call it a second edition. Going for a very affordable 15,000 yen, June release next year. Personally, I have no idea who this character is, but at the same time, I don't need to know the character to buy a figure that I like. That has always been the case, just like New Jersey. That figure looks amazing, that I don't even care if I don't play the game Azur Lane. I don't know anything about the character. If I like the design, I might consider getting one. Of course, I don't plan on collecting Bishoujo statue, but as far as characters from this series goes, this is one of the better looking ones, suiting my own taste even. I feel I'm looking at something from Left 4 Dead. Yeah. Okay. Highly recommended as long as you like her. Yeah, I like it a lot. Like heavy shading on her jacket and her torn jeans over there, my kind of thing. Moving on to the next scale figure, 1/8 scale art FXJ, Natsuno Minami and BJ. Do you guys love BJs? I love it. From 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. Okay, this is a re-release, but I wasn't even aware this figure existed. Yeah. Of course, at that price, it is hard to refuse. As a photographer, this figure appeals to me so much because of the diorama potential, you know. This is a perfect figure to be placed inside a wasteland, a post-apocalyptic setting. I believe that is also the setting of this game. So, very nice. I still lean towards the outer version, even though there are no robots included, right? Like, I still prefer outer's paintwork in general, and that was 1/7. But regardless, I like this a lot. Like, who doesn't like JKs in bloomers? Those nice legs over there. Like, I always look at the legs first, you know. Okay, moving on to the next one, 1/8 scale again by Belfine. Lucy Hatfilia Wink version, just because of the face expression. Very creative naming. 17,000 yen, almost April release next year. Belfine, please just do the 2D paint style you guys did with Toga Himiko. You guys should have done that to this figure. I think it feels like a missed opportunity. Yeah. I mean, this is a mainstream character, kind of. Shonen anime, right? And being a mainstream character, it is like the perfect candidate to try the 2D painting style on, right? Just like Toga Himiko from BNHA. Yeah. I think that would have made this figure stand out a lot more compared to so many Lucy figures out there. This is like just another Lucy figure. It is lost. It doesn't stand out. And if she received the 2D paintwork, she would stand out a lot more. So this feels like a missed opportunity to me. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. We are now moving into low budget figure territory. First up, Pop-Up Parade and Beach Queens. Also, this name Beach Queens is coming back, but under the Pop-Up Parade line. Asuna from SAO, Progressive, 4,000 yen, June release next year. Yeah, just Asuna in swimsuit, nothing special really. The paintwork on the hair is actually impressive. There is like a mild amount of shading. Yeah, that's shading. Not bad at all. Okay. And this is a pop-up parade where I can recommend because, you know, the detail level in general is low, right? It is just swimsuit, which means it is less likely for Good Smile to screw up the paintwork. So this is a relatively safe pre-order if you insist on ordering early. Moving up next, we have pop-up parade Ryuma from Monsters 103. No idea what it is. Obviously, yeah, classic anime, right? 4,000 yen as well, coming out in May. What is up with the obsession of Japanese people with rice balls, man? I mean, I don't hate it, but I find it a little bit overrated at the same time. There's way too much carbohydrates over there, too much carb and sugar. Moving on to the next one, pop-up parade Byleth female. From Fire Emblem by Good Smile Company, 5,000 yen, July release next year. Okay, this is a good purchase. Just that, you know, with this level of detail, right? You see on her, what is this called? On her armor in general and her outfit, yeah, this level of detail, I'm a little bit concerned. But if Good Smile can nail the paintwork, then this is one of the better pop-up grades to get. 5,000 yen is fair, yeah. And I'm also a little bit surprised that they did not plaster Intelligent Systems name over here because they hold the license on Fire Emblem, yeah. So the pop-up grade figures on pre-order this week is quite decent, I would say. Moving on to the next one, Full-Wheel Tenital Yuki Osanai from Shoshimin. How to become ordinary. Didn't this anime air so long ago and now they are only making a figure? I watched it long ago. I don't remember anything from the anime anymore. So this is plain JK, going for 6,000 yen. Full-Wheel has increased their price. Tenital was supposed to be about 5,500 yen, so this is a 500 yen increase. Do you care? Let me know in the comments below. Full-Wheel Tenital in general are a bit better than pop-up grades, but this is a little bit too ordinary. Even me, a JK enthusiast, is complaining about this being too ordinary. Okay, anyways, the last figure on HLJ, Myethos Gift plus 1x10 scale A'nu with flute from Chinese Paladin, Sword and Fairy, 4,800 yen, coming out in July 2025. Okay, so Myethos is now moving on to 1x8 scale for Gift plus, which is a news I really welcome. Fantastic. But why is this one a 1x10 scale? The answer is simple. Because other Chinese Paladin figures that are already out, they are 1x10 scale. They just can't change the scale like that, you know. So that is understandable, but I'm looking forward to 1x8 scale being the standard in future for this Gift plus line. And if you are wondering whether you should get it, assuming that you like the character or you know something about Chinese Paladin, the answer is a big yes. Myethos Gift plus figures are incredible. Given the asking price, they are like pop-up grade perfected, you know, low budget, but you don't see quality control issues that much. Like this level of detail, look at the necklace around her. Myethos, you can count on them to paint it well. Now we move on to Ami for a couple of exclusive items. Firstly, we have Sophia F showing because there are not enough figures of her, obviously. From Bunny Suit Planning, Cow Bikini. This is by Phat Company, almost 25,000 yen, coming out in September 2025. Okay, so this is actually the kind of Phat Company figure where I would say is relatively safe to get. Like, sure, sometimes they may have QC issues, but this is overall just a bikini figure. And I don't expect them to screw up this one, right? If they still do that, then they might as well stop making figures at that point. So this is a safe get. Obviously, when we talk about Bunny Suit Planning, I would simp for Vertex, you know, that huge mecha figure. Yeah, they had a Sophia F-String figure for like 40,000 yen. I would definitely simp for that. But on a lower budget, or I want something a little bit special, this is a nice buy actually. For once, I am going to recommend you a Phat Company figure. Yeah. I think that milk tank figure next to her was the major contributing factor for me to recommend you to get it. It is like, you know, it is just a bikini figure, just a swimsuit figure. But for some reason, she looks extra detailed, and I think the base and the extra prop next to her has something to do with it. At 25,000 yen, 1x6 scale, for once, this does not feel that overpriced for Phat Company Ami exclusive. So this one I can recommend. Go and get one. Moving on to the next Ami exclusive, Okakizuki, an artist, Chinese dress girl. Come on, give your characters a proper name, man. 1x6 scale by Violet Studio. I've never heard of them. 29,000 yen, coming out in May 2025. Reminds me of that Chinese girl figure by Amakuni from a few years ago, except that was a lolly, so I like that one better. And she was also serving dim sum. Obviously, I don't remember the character's name. All I remember is lolly serving dim sum, and that one was incredibly adorable. This one reminds me of a H anime character for some reason. It if you love very thick thighs, which isn't my thing, like I love moderately thick thighs, not very thick ones. Can't believe you're even discussing about this kind of preferences. But anyways, Violet Studio, unfortunately, I know nothing. This is a new company. And I'm not expecting this to be customable. Yeah, no. Does not seem to be customable. Not expecting it to be anyway. Will you pay 29,000 yen for this ordinary looking 1/6 scale Chinese girl? I think it all boils down to whether you like the art. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is not yet listed on HLJ at the time of recording. And this going for 43,000 yen, 44,000 yen before discounts is no surprise to me at all because we are talking about Prisma Wing. Okay, so we have I from Oshinoko going for 44k before discount. After discount, 40k, which is, yeah, maybe Ami is the better choice over here. They have slashed off the Japanese text on this one. November 2025 release, and can I recommend it? Once again, the answer is no. There are already a couple of Hoshino Ai figures released, which I would prefer you to get. The ones by Kadokawa and Furio. What? X Kugani is recommending Furio? Yes. I mean, I would still rather you get that one over this one, because the Kadokawa and Furio version, they are like half of this. And they are a more accurate representation of what we saw in the anime, at least in the first season. Very, very accurate replica. And they cost like 20,000+ yen, right? Especially the Kadokawa one, which is my favorite version. And I don't see it being a point of paying double the price just to get this love-shaped base and a pair of speakers behind her, which looks like something that came straight out from a Barbie toy box meant for children. Right? And one more thing is that this figure looks really shiny, looks very glossy all over the place, and from what I have heard, Prisma Wing has this habit of giving their figures a nice smooth satin finish for some reason. Some people will like it, some will hate it. I am part of the latter. I don't like this satin finish because it cheapens the look of the figure. It looks like cheap plastic, no? Plastic that are too cheap, they look very glossy and shiny. It gives up that feel to me. I know that it is a very subjective opinion, but I'm not a fan of it, and it makes the figure more expensive. No, it is unnecessary, that coating over there. So I would say that I can't recommend this eye figure. More like I can't recommend many of Prisma Wing's figure. Paramount Studio does fantastic work with their resin figures, but for some reason I don't know why they keep messing up their Prisma Wing PVC figure line. It is like they are thinking of themselves way too highly, and they are making E-Stream and Alpha Satellite look like saints in comparison when it comes to pricing, you know. They are even worse than E-Stream. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. Pre-order it before you regret it. That is all I have to say. Right? I don't think this figure is coming to HLJ. If you want to get it, it is either Ami or maybe Ninin Game if you prefer it there. This is a pink charm figure which is related to native. You won't find it on HLJ. And we are talking about Rurudo Art over here, right? Eve. Pink Charm has released a figure of her in the past. That thing is super expensive nowadays. Yeah, aftermarket price. And knowing that, you shouldn't be overlooking this one if you like her. I mean, you can undress this lolly. Completely hadaka, man. What is there not to like about it? And if you don't mind a chest that is smaller than mine over here, then yeah, by all means, pre-order it. I like it a lot, but no, I don't have the spare budget to spend on edgy figures, but I want it really badly because I know that the moment this figure gets released next year, she would shoot all the way up to 40,000 yen. I guarantee you that. So for those of you who can afford to pick one up, pre-order it before you regret it. Moving up next, this is the last figure on Ami, so we don't have anything from their major content section this week. Bani Mama Service Agency. Kana Jodo Hama Mama Service Agency. Okay. For those of you MILF lovers, I can get this for 44,000 yen. July 2025 release. 2 reasons why I don't like this figure, perfectly subjective. Number 1 is that, yeah, fabric apron over there, I always prefer PVC solid material. And secondly, the color scheme of this character reminds me of that rainbow ice cream, you know, in some way. It doesn't feel right. Or we can think of this as a very thick Miku, if you prefer to look at it that way. Anyways, this is going to sell quite well. A lot of people love figures like this, and binding, yeah, they are better than free ink any day. Despite asking for a more expensive price of 44,000 yen, pick one up because binding figures, they rarely bin, if ever. So they are pretty safe pre-orders as long you like the character. Yeah. Okay, our last stop for genuine figures, Ninin game to check out Be Full and Forge Japan and Insight stuff. Coming from Forge Japan, we have 2 versions of this 10th cat girl, Maru Maru. This is the safe for work version, even though she barely has any clothes on it. 20k for the 1x6 and 30k for the 1x4. Moving on to the other 2 versions by Insight. Apparently, this is the 18 plus version. I'm not sure what is the difference over here because she still appears to be fully covered, almost. At the important parts, is it like when you flip the figure around and look underneath it, you get to see her going no pan? I'm not sure. Because you can't really cast off PMMA figures, you know, they are fragile. Once again, 1x6 scale at 20k and 1x4 scale at 30k. This is a very likable character. I like her character design at least. Okay, moving on to the next Insight figure, we have female knight hypnotized and trained to be obedient. A very common theme in H anime. Mireille, or Mireille, how to pronounce that? 1x6 scale 20k and 1x4 scale 30k. And lastly, the last 2 figures, we have a mischievous win Astaroth no pan version by Insight, 19k at 1x6, and here's the weird part, 1x5. 22k. 1.6 and 1.5, why? There's barely any difference. Might as well sell the 1x5 version only, or make 1.6 and 1.4. It is so weird. So yeah, we have a girl in a summer dress wearing no pan underneath. Though I like the character design a lot, but I couldn't bring this out for photography for very obvious reasons, you know. Okay, and that is all for genuine figures on pre-order this week. Hopefully there are no new stuff on Saturdays. And next week I will be attending Comic Fiesta in Kuala Lumpur, but I am not expecting any delays to my figure news fix regardless. Yeah, I'm planning ahead already. Okay, moving on to third-party resin figures. Once again, we don't have that many this week because, yeah, they are cleaning up their mess after selling Hadaka figures and the authorities are going after them. However, we do have a few nice figures this week, and I'll be making use of OzGK as usual, this channel's affiliate partner for third-party resin figures. Starting off, we have an Anya figure that appears to promote child marriage for some reason. Liu Li Studio and Happy Studio, we have Wedding Angel Anya Forger. Remember, this is a great schooler. Regular version and deluxe version. Deluxe version, you're just getting a few more parts. No. You don't get to undress a character like this. Yeah, that would be way too much. I wouldn't agree with a figure like that either, right? I mean, teenage is okay, but not children like that. Because teenagers, depending on which country, they are actually legal age, by the way. Yeah. Okay, so this is available in 1x4 and 1x6. 1x6 scale is actually around $131, starting from $131. And 1x4 scale goes up to $267, which isn't too expensive considering on how big she is. 33 cm. Yeah. So this is a nice figure if you can overlook the part where she is apparently wearing wedding dress. I don't see this as a wedding dress. I see this more like a dress wear to a ball event. Like you're attending some event, you're attending someone's wedding, then you wear something like this. It makes sense to me, I think. So this doesn't really look like a wedding dress to me, if I have to be honest. I think it is just a matter of wording over here, where when you translate a Chinese word into an English word, sometimes the translation, the meaning can be lost in translation. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one here, we have a chibi figure of Violet Evergarden by Good Studio, $93, coming out in June 2025. To me, this is weird. Like, it is chibi, yet at the same time, it doesn't feel chibi to me because, you know, the body is kind of big. I would rather them shrink down the body further so that it looks more like an android, then it will look less weird to me. Yeah, this is a bit weird if I have to be honest. Can't recommend it. Okay, moving up to the next one from Yaomu Studio with Fairy Tail Mavis Vermilion for $163 at 1/6 scale, coming out in September 2025. This looks like, you know, an art school student trying to sell his school project because the detail level is very poor. Yeah, I can't recommend this even though she is only $160, which is cheap by the standards of resin figures, but this isn't good enough. This figure is a perfect example of my problem with some third-party resin figure brands. Like, when you expect them to make something a lot more normal, they turn out to be quite underwhelming, like this character over here. So, all the while, they have been relying on edgy content to stay in business. And once the authorities starts taking action, they don't have a plan B, and some will eventually go out of business. That is what I'm expecting to see. Not every brand, but some will go out of business. They couldn't compete because all they rely on is making edgy stuff, and there goes their business plan. So with figures like this, I'm not sure how Yaomu Studio expects to sell more than 50 units. Yeah, 50 units. Selling 50 of these is already impressive enough. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have a licensed resin figure by Gudao Studio, Original Dragons 9 Suns Chiu Neo. Okay, anyways, this is $500 at 1/4 scale, and she is actually fully covered, but you know, artificial intelligence isn't that intelligent. It might interpret this picture as her chest being fully exposed because her outfit is almost skin color, so I had to cover it up just to play safe. I feel stupid for doing it, to be honest, but I had to because YouTube's AI isn't that intelligent. Okay, so this is coming out in September 2025, and for a licensed resin figure, this is reasonable price actually. Just that, not my kind of figure as usual. Realistic character design, but as an art piece, right? For people who love art stuff, this is very attractive for sure. Okay, moving on to the next one from Prime One Studio. This would probably go on pre-order next week on HLJ. I'm just covering it in advance because we don't have many third-party resins this week. Kaiju number 8 or Kafka Hibino. Wow, deluxe bonus version. Prime One Studio and their deluxe versions giving you like 50 extra parts for another 25,000 yen. This can go all the way up to $1,500 US, which is a lot of money, man. Oh, LED. Are we getting... Oh, wow. Okay, that explains why this is so expensive. Alright, LED. Okay, so what they did with this figure probably is that, they manufacture it completely in translucent resin material, and then they just paint the exterior, or they put a layer of opaque coating on the outside. I don't know how they do it, but that is incredible. At the same time, not the kind of character I would pay $1,500 for a deluxe version. Moving on to the next one from CUA Studio with Kaiju number 8 Mina Ashiro. Okay, this is an early bird pre-order, no price or release date yet, no scale yet, but I'm expecting this to be 1/6 scale. Okay, this is amazing. Oh, I love big guns. I love big cannons. Is it possible for this to be only $200? I mean, a huge cannon, that Baihu White Tiger over there, and a figure all for $200? That would be incredible if true. I'm predicting $250 to $300, but if they can hit the $200 price, this could be a very good purchase. Yeah. CVS Studio, never heard of them. Like, there are so many third-party resin figure companies, and I have experience with a very small fraction of them, like less than 1% of them. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one from I8 Toys. This is actually a licensed figure brand, and this figure might appear in Army and HLJ and everywhere else next week maybe. Okay, Twin Flowered Xuan and Yue, their own original character, $110 only each. No skill mentions over here, but I am expecting this to be 1/6 scale. Like, why would you even make other skills and mismatch with every other action figure out there in the market? $110 is freaking cheap, man. Yeah, this has to be 1/6 scale. I don't think those props are included, but if they do include it, man, I want the trolley and the luggages, you know. Diorama reasons. Are they even included? Well, nothing being mentioned over here. Let me see. Yeah, those have to be purchased separately, obviously. No mention of being included in the list of contents over here. But for $110, I wouldn't expect that. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have two resin figures from Light Team Studio. The first one is Mikasa Ackerman from Attack on Titan, $235. Okay, version A and version B. Must be short hair and long hair, right? Coming out in September 2025. Okay, that looks really good. And Light Team Studio, I've seen a few of their actual user photos. Their figures are actually fine. So you can consider this brand actually. Okay, this looks really nice. No long hair here. All of them are short hair. What is the difference? It's not even mentioned at the bottom. What's the difference between version A and version B? I suppose you need to message the customer service to ask for more clarification, but what the heck? Be clearer in your product descriptions, man. Moving on to the second Light Team Studio figure, an unexpected one. We have Yuno Gasai from Future Diary or Mirai Nikki. This is a classic. Even though this anime was like only 10 or 12 years old, it was so iconic. And Yuno Gasai is like the face of yandere anime female characters. And you can have her in standard blood version or blood version. And it is a no-brainer. Of course, you buy the blood version, right? That is what she is known for. This crazy bitch. Yeah. No contest, right? Blood version is better. Given that she is holding an axe. Man. If they can nail the face over here, this would be an amazing figure to get. And it is not like we have a very good Yuno Gasai scale figure in like forever. We only had a pop-up rate going on pre-order recently. Yeah, this is incredible. Okay, moving on to the next one. Oh, there are companies out there who are still brave enough to make something like this. Of course, coming from none other than NieR Studio. But CC does not have giant melons like this. This is not CC to me. Not the CC I know from Code Geass. Anyways, if you are still interested, this is going for $360. And the two Chinese words over there, pai xie, excretion, for those of you who love shit. I can't show you the pictures, unfortunately. You just have to go to OSGK and see it for yourself, but wow. Okay, coming out in December 2025. What the heck? Okay, moving on to the next one, we have an Alice figure. Alice Pink Shark. At least it is called Pink Shark, not Baby Shark. I hate that music so much. It gets stuck in your brain for days, man. From Candy House Studio, $274 at 1/6 scale, releasing in September 2025. And you know what? Is she sitting on a chair, an office chair or a toilet bowl? Like, from behind, this is supposed to be a chair. But from in front, this looks like a toilet bowl to me. What is this? Anyways, the problem right now is that we have two amazing Alice figures by licensed figure brands, Flare and Amakuni, that it is difficult to justify getting something like this unless you would like something that comes with a toilet bowl, obviously. Or there are other companies out there making edgy figures of her, then there is an extra reason to get those. In my opinion, the face on this Alice isn't as good as even the one by Flare or Amakuni. Not as good. So this is a bit difficult to recommend. Moving on to the next one here. Okay, this figure went on pre-order some time ago. I'm not sure why they're taking pre-orders again. I can only assume that she is getting a re-release coming out in September 2025. Okay, and the price on this in US dollars, oh come on, $224. Okay, $224. Obviously, I will still root for the one by Mimeyoi at 1/4 scale. I know that I complained about her mouth, but that is still the better get. But if you want something smaller at 1/6 scale but wearing the same jacket and bikini, then this is a valid option. For me, I don't like this version that much. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, we have something from FGO, and it is Morgan by BC Studio. Okay, with BC Studio, they had a history of stealing artwork, I think. Yeah. Or, recasting existing GKs, but at the same time, they had this Raiko figure, which was probably recasted, right? It released several months ago, but there were some of you who purchased the figure, and you told me that the figure quality was amazing. And then I was able to verify that because I got my hands on some of the user photos of the Raiko figure. The craftsmanship was incredible. For a brand that used to only steal artwork, maybe they still do it today, I don't know, maybe. I'm just speculating over here. However, if you don't care about all those moral obligation stuff, you just want a very nice figure of Morgan, and this tickles or fancy, I can vouch for BC Studio in terms of quality control. Yeah. This is pretty expensive for $310, but I think you guys can see why already. This is a relatively complex figure. And the face is kind of nice. I have no complaints about her face at all. For me, I'm going to wait for Outer and Good Smile version. I'll get both, perhaps. But for those of you who want something a little different, this is not a bad purchase at all. Yeah. Moving up next, from Luminous Studio, we have Onikata Kayoko from Blue Archive, $186 at 1/6 scale, releasing in June 2025. Well, the color scheme, color palette is a little bit dull, right? Like very monotonous, but the face is incredible. I hope that they maintain the face over here. I think that is the best part of this figure. The face is the only saving grace over here. They better not mess this up. That's really pretty. Damn. And the shading on the hair, I hope that they maintain that in the final product. Yeah, otherwise this figure would end up being very average looking. Pricing wise is acceptable, very reasonable for a resin figure. Moving on to the next one from Mengya Xiang Studio, we have Blue Archive Iochi Mari. Okay, single version, sportswear version, and deluxe version where you can get both. Okay, this single version, $269. Sportswear version, oh, very nice! $233, or you can get both for $419. Man, this is tough. Okay, I am leaning towards this sportswear version for some reason. Both are great, man. This is so difficult to choose. Oh. Whoa. This is my favorite resin figure this week. No, not that FGO Morgan. This is my favorite resin figure this week. It has been a long time since I've seen something so nice from third parties, man. And oh yes, this is important. So for the single version, the left picture is what they had promised before, and they are changing her face to this winking faceplate, right? This is not what you're getting. This is what you're getting, and I'm not complaining. This is better. You're not getting both, by the way. You're getting the new one, this faceplate. But hey, that is great. Both are very nice, but I'm leaning towards this one a little bit more. I don't know why she appeals to me a lot more. Jeez. Should I pre-order it? Man, I got poisoned all of a sudden. Like, this is my first time reacting to this figure. I haven't checked out this figure yet. And now that I've seen this picture, man, should I take the risk and pre-order it because I know nothing about this brand? June release is quite soon, only 6 months away, and $233 is not bad at all for a 1/6 scale resin figure. Anyways, we move on to the last figure first, which is from Tofo Studio. We have Tofo Figure Studio. We have Uma Musume Pretty Derby Satono Diamond. Yeah, there are a few other options of her out there from the genuine figure brands like Kotobukiya, but if you like this one, then she is going for only $233, and she is 1/6, right? Is it 1/6? I think so. Okay, coming out in September 2025. Let me confirm the dimensions over here. 28 cm, 1/6 scale. Okay. And this is not a bad purchase at all given the entire package. Of course, you can't undress her. Yeah, details are outstanding. I hope that they paint this gold color trims nicely. They actually have Melusine, for example. They have a few FGO figures already out and they are quite fine. So for this figure brand, Tofo figure, they are relatively safe pre-orders if you like what you're looking at. I want this so much. Yeah, and that is all for figures on pre-order this week. Which one will you pre-order? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful or informative or even entertaining, give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for more content like this every week. Until then, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys again very soon. Goodbye.